Hello all, hope you're having a good day. I was finally able to push and get to the legendary rank. Let's go ahead and collect the chest. I'll turn off the volume so that it doesn't distract us now. But yes, it was a tough climb and very slow to actually push up due to the lack of opponents at the higher rank. I was just waiting on queues and queues until the chest collect time, and then people started playing again and I was able to push through. In terms of the tech tree, I was able to unlock Kawan, take it to tech 4. I was able to unlock the shock launchers as well as the heavy choppers. I tried to push without the heavy choppers, but I was just not getting the opponents, and once the chest collect time came, I knew my advantage was gone, so I went ahead and opened the heavy choppers. So I can't really do too much with the 30 unlock keys, but let's see how it goes. So I'm using the similar base from yesterday. I did a few modifications against the new metas of HCRC, HC laser rangers, HC seekers, bullet seekers, etc. And although I do have a few losses, but those were also due to one, my fizzling out, and another one was really good seeker play. So we take them as we get them. Let's go through the key attacks. Now this one was a very simple base. It did not have any critter launchers, it did not have any shock launchers, etc. So I just use HC seekers with brick. Using brick to keep the heavies moving slightly quicker than usual, and then putting the heavy choppers and heavies to one side, letting them take the engine room while the seekers work on the other side. The CR was a bit towards the left, so that's why the seekers went on the left side. So I was lucky enough with the positioning of that one. This one, slow time, 2 minutes. This is a kind of a max base. I'm using HCRC on this one, and finally HCRC, not heavies and RCs, along with Kawan. I kind of use the second one straight away just to get a few rifles on board and to distract the defenses a little bit while the rocket choppers are clearing up the ERs and defenses. The sync error is still there, so be careful with critter launchers. I generally shock them or cryo them so that they are not really throwing out too many the critters and locking up my RCs and then getting a sync error, so be careful against them. This BC was nearly going to take a shot at my RC. I think it does get one eventually, but I was able to protect the other with the help of critters myself. And then just free clearing this base, I was again tracking the opponent's time, so that was quite useful. And once I knew I was safe, I just got down to the final ER. Nice and simple, clear. This one is also going to be a similar 2 minutes time, so I'll probably skip over that one. This one was a faster time, 2 minute 32. I'm again using HCRC on this layout, but the sky shield is on the right side. So if the sky shield is there, what you want to do is have your rocket choppers deployed on that side so that they can generally try to take down the sky shield quickly, as well as the ERs next to it. And then you can just flare around the ERs. And then this one I was being super aggressive because I had played this player before and I knew that he would do a good time against my base because he had done that in the past too. So I'm just clearing off the first 2 ERs. And once that's done, I'm just going to use flares and shocks to keep my rocket choppers moving from ER to ER. This is probably the best way to use rocket choppers, but you do need to be careful you have the GB to support this. And obviously enough of your rocket choppers survive as well to kill off the ERs. This was a close match, 2-second win. Kind of a similar layout as the previous one, but it didn't have the sky shield. My rocket choppers got a bad split on this one. and this cannon took one of my rocket choppers down early. I forgot about shocking it. Like in the previous attack, I had done that, so it was well protected. But in this one, I was down to 5 rocket choppers quite quickly. So it was all about not trying to fizzle. And then this rocket chopper obviously got a split towards this direction, which again cost me a bit of time on taking down the ERs. But it was okay. I was still tracking the opponent, so I just tried to do the best I could. The snipers would be a pain, so I let one of them be killed, and then I go around the houses of the ERs, flare the cannons because that would flank the rocket choppers, and then flare to the final ER. This one was a loss. This guy did a seeker hit. I'll show my hit. 233 was still a decent enough time. And this is something which you can try if they don't have critter launchers that much. In this one, I was slow because my seekers got killed up really quickly once their protection was lost, and I did not really manage the hit very well. I did a few premature flares. I did not take care of the shock launcher, did not take care of the hotpot. My critters are just stuck over there. And then I did not even flare the heavy choppers and heavies onto this ER. And my seekers eventually die until I do the flare and then try to take down the ER. So although it's possible to use HC seekers, it still is tough to manage that hit well. But sometimes it just works, which I can show in this next hit. This one was similar. He was just missing the Doom Cannon compared to the other opponent. So I used the 3 boats of heavy choppers to take down the first SL and the second SL. And then I'm using the seekers to do the cleanup of the ERs in the background. I did do slightly better, but I did premature flare from that shock launcher too. So I do need to learn the timing of that slightly better. And then the heavy choppers and heavies are taking down one ER while the seekers are clearing out the rest of the ERs. This Chinese fellow, he also did not really have critter launches, and now my standard is that if I don't see critter launches, I can just use HC seekers and take out the SLs with heavy choppers as needed. I'm using the heavy choppers just as a mid shield and damage the ERs a little bit until I flare to the side and let them take out that ER. The shock launcher was in a good spot. Maybe that's something for other folks to consider when they're putting up shock launchers and sky shield as well. But I did manage to end up clearing off the base, which is what I needed because the opponent fizzled, so not too bad. Then for my boss fight, I got Dr. Mandy, who's a really good seeker player, and he has bullet and artillery and all the tools, but his base is quite naked. So as soon as I see a base like this, I know this is going to be a fast seeker player, so I have to do the hit really fast. I went with brick, battle orders, and seekers, all seekers, 5 boats from the left ramp and 3 boats from the right ramp, just like most of you would have been doing by now. And then using the cryos to freeze the defenses, clear out a few mines, etc. and get the seekers moving upwards. This one was much better managed by me because I was more familiar with this layout, and obviously it was much simpler as well. So although Dr. Mandy got a really good time, I got a better time and I was able to get the win, which got me the legendary rank. Now, my friend Tutalala, he also got legendary earlier today. We'll play Tutalala. He and me are pretty much on a similar tech, but now he's ahead on the keys because he was good enough to get the legendary prior to this time chest. So he is a few keys ahead of me, but that's okay. But Paul is doing really well. Lava Giant, Ivan, Kaiser, all of them are really secured in their legendary chests, as well as a few of our Chinese friends. So it's now just going to be a timing game to see what is the next best unlock. Lamentation, he's playing really well. He's playing with laser rangers and he's getting really fast time. 246. I only got a better time because I use HC Seekers. So laser rangers could be an interesting tech for folks to consider because they seem to be faster than rocket choppers. And if I can keep defending against the Seeker players, I very well think that might be my next unlock, because I do have the heavy choppers to protect them, I do have Kavan to revive them, and I do have 100 GPE. I am lacking one thing which is quite critical for me too, which is either of barrage or artillery. I can't unlock either of them even now, but that's where we are. Let's see how the next day goes. But hope you have a great day and good luck on your push. Thank you all.